So today we are talking about graphing quadratics in standard form. So it'd be really important to know what standard form is. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. And A, B, and C are going to be very important to this lesson. What would you call A and B? What would you call A and B? They're coefficients, okay? Coefficients. I told you you're not going to get away from that word, coefficients, so embrace it. It's the number in front of the x squared or the x. All right. Another thing you want to think about is quad. Okay, we always want to try and think about the words that we're using because they will help you remember the process that you're doing. So quadratic, when you think of quad, maybe you think of square, 4 sides, 4 rooms if it's a quad, right? Like in a, when you go off to college, 4. 4 sides is a square, x squared, okay? When we are graphing a quadratic equation, do you recall the parent function, what that's called? I'll give you a little, what do we call that?
Quadratic?
It starts with a P. Parabola.
What?
Parabola. This is a parabola. Everybody say parabola.
Parabola.
You want to imprint these words in your brain, and that's another way to do it is by saying it. So it seems like elementary to repeat after me, but it is very effective to get it into your brain, which is the goal. Okay, so this is the standard form, and we're going to use this form to graph our parabolas. The first thing we need to do, step 1, is find the axis of symmetry. But I would say, like, what would it be before 1? Like the prequel, okay? Before step 1, we have to actually identify A, B, and C. So we're going to do all of these steps on the problem down here and here, and we're just going to keep doing it. There's 5 of these, and so by the time you get to your homework, you can use these steps and do all of these, like, no problem. All right, so let's first identify which each of these, A, B, and C.
I got you.
You got me? All right, what's A?
A is 2,
B?
B is 8, and then C is 9.
So close. B is,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Let's go right over to this one just because we're on a roll here. A, B, and C. And because this one is missed a lot. Yeah. Yeah, A, the coefficient here is 1. Whenever you don't see it for an x or an x squared, the coefficient is 1. Good. B, Sophia, this is your chance to redeem yourself. What is B?
-8.
That's right.
And then 17.
C is 17. That is half the battle, identifying A, B, and C. Okay,
I
then
love that.
I know. Love that for us. Okay, number 1, don't ruin it. The axis of symmetry is x equals -b over 2a. And now again, you want to think about the words that we're using. Axis, symmetry. An axis is something maybe that things kind of like an axle, if you think about cars, kind of spins around. So your axis is going to go straight down the middle. And symmetry, what does symmetry mean to you?
When something's symmetric.
Symmetric, right? Which means it's what? The same on both sides. Okay, so that's going to help us plot points when you know that. So we always want to think about what these words are saying, and it will start to make the picture come into focus. All right, number 2, find the y value. Okay, so let's do number 1 first. So step 1, x equals negative b over 2a. So you're going to write that 5 times today because we're going to do 5 problems. So you're going to know x equals negative b over 2a. You're going to be like saying it in your sleep tonight. So here's where you have to be careful. You want to write that negative and then parentheses. You're going to put whatever b is inside the parentheses so we don't get confused with all these negatives floating around. And b is negative 8. Negative b over 2 parentheses 2.
So what about the C?
We will get there, my friend.
Oh.
So we're not going to use C like a ton right now, but I just want you to get in the habit of seeing it. Thank you. Okay, so negative times a negative is positive over.
Joking, bro.
Okay, 4. Remember, we're videoing best behavior. Okay. And that reduces to 2, and we know that.
Wait, didn't you make a miss? Oh, never mind.
She's trying to get candy.
I know she is. All right, step 2.
No, I was actually confused.
Yes, Travis. No, you may not. Okay.
Damn. Sorry.
Now I have to put like one of those E's for this video, explicit content. Okay, let's try and keep it. All right, here we go. I might have to do another one, 7 period. All right, number 2, step 2. So we did step 1.
So that's your best for now. You need to
Step 2, find the y value of the vertex by substituting, and we're very familiar with substituting because we did that all last week, substituting the x value into the equation. What equation? The quadratic equation that you're given. Okay, so here is step 2, and I'm going to write this equation out right here. Y equals
This is a big ass.
2x squared minus 8x plus 9. And I'm going to plug in, I found that x equals 2, right? Found that? So now we can take that 2 and plug it in for x, substitute. So instead of 2 times x squared, I get what? 2 times parentheses 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 9. Now I have to practice. Good thing I've been doing all of those order of operations problems on my warm-ups. I'm really good at this. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 8 times 2 plus 9. So that simplifies to y equals, what? 8 minus 16 is negative 8. Everybody says that. You do, but what does doing the parentheses mean? You do what's inside the parentheses. That's what PEMDAS means. Means if this was, say this was like 2 minus 1, on the inside you would do that first. Once the inside is simplified, then you go on to exponents. Then you go on to multiplication. Because these parentheses just mean multiply. So you want to do that, but that is a great question. You want to do this, the exponent first. Yeah. So that gives us 1. 8 minus 16 is negative 8 plus 1 is 9. And let's do, after we finish this, let's do the order of operations on the warm-up and I'll show you what I mean. Okay? All right, so y is 1. So I have x and y, which takes us to, so step 2, done. Step 3, plot the vertex, and the vertex is your x and y, and draw the axis of symmetry. Remember the axis of symmetry? That's just x equals 2. That's our axis of symmetry, back to number 1. So, step 3, we're going to plot our x and y coordinate, which is just, what? 2
And 1.
and 1. That's our vertex. So that means that's where our parabola is going to start. So we go to 2, 1, right there, vertex. Done. Plot my vertex and axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Yeah. Yes.
How did you get 1?
Here?
Yeah.
8 minus 16, or 8 and a negative 16, however you look at it, is negative 8. Right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1.
That's too many questions on me.
Huh?
Too many questions on me. That's a little bit too many questions on me.
So we'll go over this.
You just like solve the whole thing.
This right here, yeah, we just simplified to here. So that is this simplified to this, and then to 1. Just keep going down and down and down, paring it down. When we do the order of operations, I can see we really need to go back to the order of operations on your warm-up, and we're going to do a lot of practice with that. It's just solving. It's just multiplying and adding. So we plotted the vertex. Now we're going to plot the axis of symmetry. And if you remember when we were plotting vertical lines, x equals, okay, you just go to 2 right here and just draw a nice little dotted line there. That's our axis of symmetry. It just goes straight through the vertex. So that's 3. We got the vertex and the axis, x equals 2, is the axis of symmetry. Step 4. Okay, we're going to skip step 4 for right now. Step 5, you're going to put the word plot more points over the axis of symmetry. And then we have this right here. This is really pretty important. C is the y-intercept of the quadratic. Y, do we remember what y-intercept means? It means that's where this graph intersects the y-axis. So, what is the C in this problem, in this equation? C is 9. So I go on the y-axis, that means C right here, y-intercept, here also, y-intercept. Every time, that means that's where you're going to intersect the y-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. It's kind of not. And then plot more points over the axis of symmetry. So what does that mean? Here's the axis of symmetry. If it's 2 away here, it's 2 away there. It's right there. Same, right? It's like a mirror. So if you were 2 away over here, 2 away here, and then you can just connect it. Connect the dots. Oops. And here. So that's what the parabola looks like. And you want to remember too, when A is positive, it's going to be going up. Your parabola is going to go up. If A is negative, do we see any negative A's? This one's positive, but this is negative. So that means it's going to be frowning. It's not going to be a smile because it's negative. This one is also negative, so that's going to be frowning down. Yeah. All right, so we found A, B, and C here. Let's do it again. Let's do our steps. 1. Step 1, find the axis of symmetry, which is x, and you're going to write it out, x equals negative b over 2a. Everybody say that. X equals negative b. Okay, let's start again. X equals negative b over 2a.
X
Equals negative b over 2a. Yeah, there you go. x equals negative b over 2a. And that, so we just substitute in now. Remember I said you have to be really careful with this negative. So you negative here, and then parentheses. What's b?
Over 3.
Negative 8. Over 2 times a. 2 up, yeah, sorry. So negative b over 2 times a. And what's a? 1. So this is,
4.
yeah, this becomes positive. Negative times a negative is positive over 2. So x equals 4. What's step 2?
Why is it not x equals 2?
Oh, it is, Lo Santo. Just kidding. Paying attention. Caught a mistake.
What'd she say?
I was,
No, it's not.
no, she's right. 4 over 2.
No, because.
Oh, this is 8. So that's where my mistake was. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
This
we
should have been
just
8.
restart the video now.
Reset. No, you know why? I'm not afraid of mistakes because why? Mistakes allow thinking to happen, right?
Look, it says it right
I know. Should we put that on the video? I think it needs to be on the video.
Wait, what's this video for?
Or like this.
Yeah. What's this video for?
Okay. Just keeping it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not for TikTok, okay? I'm not.
But like we're already in class, so why
You're
would you?
walking it from here.
Because you are, but other people did not get this morning because they were taking tests, etc. So here we are. Yes.
Did you say yes?
Yeah. Okay, where were we? We were allowing thinking to happen. That was great.
Can you turn up the lights?
Quinn, could you turn off one of the lights?
I got it.
Perfect. All right, so step 1 done. Step 2. Just one, not both. It can't be both. It's too dark. Okay. Fine.
That's worse. Put it back. Put it back.
Oh, sorry.
That's both, bro.
Bro, I don't know.
Are you?
Okay, where were we? Step 2. Find the y value of the vertex by substituting the x value into the equation. What equation? This equation. So we write y equals x squared minus 8x plus 17. So we take 4 and we plug it in everywhere there's an x. You better draw those arrows. Arrows are very important. So we have y equals 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 17. I put it 4. Low standard. Gosh, you guys. All right, more coffee. So y equals 16 minus 32 plus 17. This is almost the same as the last one, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it cozy and nice to do math in the rain? 16 minus 32 is what? Negative 16. Negative 16. 16 is half of 32. So negative 16 plus 17, we get 1 again, you guys. Y equals 1. All right, now, what was step 3?
You plot the vertex.
Plot the vertex, and the vertex is x and y, and draw the axis of symmetry. So our 4, Sophia, 4, comma 1. That's our vertex, so we're going to plot that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1. So it's right there. Is this going to be smiling or frowning? Is it positive or negative? It is smiling. But here's the problem. The y-intercept is 17. That's way up here. That's not super helpful. So now I'm going to tell you about this rule here, the 1, 3, 5 rule to find other points, and you have to multiply by a. In other words, I'll show you in a minute. But what is the 1, 3, 5 rule? That means from here, you're going to go up 1, over 1. Then you're going to go up 3 over 1. Then you're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. So that is our, oh, but you know what we forgot to do? Axis of symmetry. Yeah, we didn't draw the axis of symmetry, which is just straight up the vertex. It's just a dotted line straight up the vertex. That way we can do the same thing. Now we go here, plot more points over the axis of symmetry. So we are going to, if there's one here, there's one here. If there's 1, 2, 1, 2. And we can draw the other side of that.
That part kind of confused me.
Did you do this? Do you have this written out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yes, go ahead.
4.
Fair is fair. Take your phone. Yes. What?
Jim?
Yeah. I left my wallet in my gym watch.
Are you serious?
And it has a bunch of stuff.
He's lagging.
Okay, shh, you're on video, okay? You don't call people liars on video. He could sue you.
I don't know.
You did. You
I don't
called
know
us
if
a
it-
Slander. What?
I can like edit your video.
Oh my gosh, Enzo, that's so beautiful.
I don't know if I dropped them on like.
I would love that. You would do that for me?
What did he say?
You better come back.
No. Even though I went back.
What did Enzo say?
I don't know if I just left it in my one of my
That's
other
scary.
classes.
Today the 27th.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know if I left.
Oh.
Oh, the power went out. I don't know if I left them on my other class.
Hurry up.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the back here. What's the first thing we do? A, B, and C. A, B, C.
Can you have a fraction?
Yeah. A equals negative 1/2. I know, it's not so great. B, 2.
2. And then 1.
C is 1. All right, step 1. X equals negative B over 2A. You write that out.
I think there was like this in geometry last year.
Yep, it was also in Algebra 1.
I never took like one. I did.
Trinity, are you with me here? Can you shut that? All right, so what is, so we put negative, and what do we put in for B? 2. Over 2 times A. 2 times negative 1/2. And that's awesome, because normally you think fractions. I don't want to do a fraction. But this is just saying half of 2. And half of 2 is 1. So, and then we have these negatives. Negative divided by a negative is positive. So we just get 2 over 1, which is just 2. So x equals 2. And what is step 2?
The Y.
Yeah, we're gonna plug our x value into our equation. This is our equation up here. So we have y equals negative 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we're gonna take that 2 and plug it in for x everywhere you see it. So we have y equals negative 1/2 parentheses 2 squared plus 2 parentheses 2 plus 1. All right, remembering we have to do, there's nothing to simplify inside the parentheses, so we go on to exponents. 2 squared is 4. Yes? 2 squared, 4? Half of 4 is 2, and it's negative. So I write negative 2 plus 4 plus 1. Yay! Negative 2 plus 4 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So y equals 3. So now I have my x and y.
Can we try to do alone?
We're going to. We're going to do all 5 of these, and then I'm going to set you on your own, just so I can get the video all done.
Okay.
What time does this class end?
131.
But it's definitely gonna hold the bell.
I don't know. They haven't been. They're just letting you guys out on your own. All right, step 3. What's step 3? Plot the vertex. What's the vertex? That's right. So I'm going to have to go. I ran out of room here. So step 3 is 2, 3 is my vertex. And I also, my axis of symmetry. Everybody say axis of symmetry is x equals 2. X equals 2 is a vertical line at 2. So let's see. I don't like this because it's like halves, or does it have halves?
Yeah.
Yes.
1. I'm just leaving this alone for this one because I don't know why they did that. 1. I mean, I kind of do, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna plot our vertex, and I just changed these to 1, 2, 3, 4 because I don't want to deal with that.
So it's 2.
So 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Axis of symmetry, straight here.
Wait. That's because I put 5 instead of 4.
And then is this going to be smiling or frowning? Is it positive or
Frowning.
negative? It's
Depends on
negative.
the math.
It's negative. So, and what is my y-intercept? Y-intercept is C. And you know why I know that? Because to find your y-intercept, you make x 0. To find your x-intercept, you make y 0. So if I made x 0, everything would wipe out, but that 1, that's free of charge. Okay, so my y-intercept is here. And I can do the same thing, mirror it on the other side because I have my axis of symmetry. Symmetry means it's mirrored, and we're just gonna go like this.
It's not happy.
It's sad, it's negative. Sometimes you're negative and it's sad, and that's okay, it's not the end of the world. Just don't stay there all the time.
Yeah, Enzo's a little negative.
That's okay.
Is that on it too?
Where?
Just look at mine.
So one thing I did not cover on this side was that the solutions to the equation are, and you can write this down, x-intercepts. That's going to come in handy later in your life, possibly. All right, so flipping it back over here, let's do number 4. So we're going to do the same thing. A equals B equals C equals. A is 2, B is 4,
4.
C is 4.
4.
Step 1, x equals negative B over 2A.
This sounds like a song.
I know, it's the point, so that it sticks in your brain. Watch your own way. All right, so negative, so we write the negative first step, then we look for B to put in our parentheses. What's B? 4. Over 2A. A is 2. All right. So the negative stays because there's no other negative to make it positive. So we get 4 over 4, which is 1. So x equals negative 1. And that's also our axis of symmetry, and it's going to be our x coordinate. Step 2. What's step 2? Step 2 is find the y value of the vertex by substituting the x value into the equation. So y equals, here's our equation up here, 2x squared plus 4x plus 4. So we take that negative 1 and we substitute it in for x. and get y equals 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 plus 4. Keep going, simplify. What's negative 1 squared? 1, so 1 times 2 is just 2. And then we
That's a
have,
negative.
yeah, but negative 1 times negative 1
Oh, yeah.
is 1. Anytime you square a negative, it becomes positive.
What about cube?
And if you cube a negative, what do you think? You get 3 of them now,
So
so
it's still positive.
it's gonna be negative.
Oh, negative.
Yeah, because 2 of them become positive and then you still have that negative, but that's a great question. All right, so then we have 4 times negative 1, so we can just write minus 4 plus 4. So we get 2 minus 4,
It's 6.
yeah, no, because negative 4 and a positive 4 would be 0. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Did you, any luck?
Probably like one of my other classes.
All right.
I'll go later.
It's 2 and a negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4, yeah, it's just going to be 2. Or you can just look at them each separately.
Yeah, I know.
Negative 4 and a positive 4 is 0, and you would just have 2. So y equals 2. Now we are down to step 3, which is plot the vertex, and the vertex is negative 1, 2, and your axis of symmetry, which is just x equals negative 1. So we go here, and this is kind of, it's not the best copy, sorry about that, but this is your y, and this is your x. So if we've got negative 1, and then up 2. And is this smiling, or, yes, it's smiling, it's positive. And I can also plot my axis of symmetry. And what else? Let's see. Step 4, use the 1, 3, 5. Nah, I don't use that unless I have to. Because then I can plot more points over the axis of symmetry. I can do the y-intercept, right? Because the y-intercept is what?
4.
4. C, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can do the same thing on the other side. So that's good enough for me. So pretty. And last but not least, this guy. We write our A, B, C. And we have one of these again where there's no number, but that doesn't fool us. We know the coefficient of x. If we know, it's going to be negative. There's a 1 right there. So it's negative 1. Only the coefficient. Yeah. And then the coefficient of x is, what's B? Negative 4. And C, yeah. You guys are being very careful with those negatives. I like it. All right, step 1. Sophia, sing it for us. X equals.
X equals negative b over 2.
Okay, that wasn't very sing-songy, but that's
I'm
okay.
sorry, I'm not really a singer.
I don't believe that. I feel like anyone with the name Sophia should be a singer.
Nah, this one I am.
All right, fine. So we write our negative, and then we're gonna put in B. B is negative 4. We're being super careful. Over 2A. 2 times A is negative 1. Substituting all of my values in. Negative times a negative is positive 4 over negative 2, which equals x equals negative 2. Don't you love the first day of a new lesson? It's like, oh, this is good. And then we just start adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff. But the first day is brand new and great and very straightforward, and we love that for us. Okay, step 2. What is step 2? Rewrite the equation, which is negative x squared minus 4x minus 5. And then we substitute that negative 2 in for x. So we have negative, don't forget that negative, parentheses, negative 2. You always do the parentheses, guys, just always, always. It makes it so much simpler and clearer. Negative 4, parentheses, negative 2, minus 5. All right, starting with our exponents, right? There's nothing to simplify inside the parentheses, so we go straight to exponents. Negative 2 squared is positive 4, that's right. This stays. This was positive 4, that one hangs out.
Why is it negative 4?
Because this negative is separate from this.
But
This became positive 4, but that negative was still there on the outside. You can't deal with this until you do this. So this becomes positive, and then whoops, still negative. Yeah, so you don't want to do this. Some people might go, oh, negative times a negative. No, it's not negative times a negative. It's negative times this, which is 4. It's very, you have to be careful with that one. Now we have negative times a negative, so that becomes positive 8. See, and this is such a great point. I'm glad you brought this up. You can see the differences here. This is why PEMDAS is so important, because you have to do that exponent first. So you see this becomes positive, and then you still have it negative, or you get the total wrong answer. That is the great thing about math, is that it really sharpens your ability to pay attention to details. Okay, so we have negative 4 plus 8, which is what? Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 minus 5, negative 1. You guys are on fire today. I love it. Fire! This class is on. No? Okay. Y equals negative 1. Sophia, you can sing that, right?
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, you want me to do
Do it.
Yeah.
This class is on fire.
Which one? The x equals
No,
negative
this,
Oh my God.
this class is on fire.
Sing it.
All right. Okay. Moving on. Step 3. What is step 3, everybody?
You sing. I want to hear your
Do it.
No. Step 3 is plot. You guys are so focused. I love it. Plot the vertex, and the vertex is, here was my x, negative 2, negative 1. You guys are quadratic masters. I love it. So here's the vertex, and we also have to draw the axis of symmetry, negative 1. So we go back over here, and I don't like all these halves, but whatever, they're there. So negative 2 right here, and negative 1 is right here. Negative 2, negative 1. And this is going to be frowning. It's sad. Where is my y-intercept? Who knows what my y-intercept? Oh my gosh, you're right. Y-intercept. Let's just make that. Shh, guys. We're almost done, and you've just done fantastic. That's my y-intercept. Let's just highlight it all. That's my y-intercept. That's my y-intercept. All right. So, did you guys do it? Watch. Shh. Are we're, oh my gosh, 2 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, girl.
I promised you'd have time, but here we are. So negative 5, which is here. And we do this, axis of symmetry. All right, look at that. Beautiful. Great job, you guys. So your homework is the other sheet. So tomorrow, make yourself some coffee or hot cocoa, get on your comfy robe, and